What's up, everybody? Today I'll be talking about why the higher time frame is the most important thing on your trading, alongside with drawn liquidity, right? So, first of all, one mistake that I did do today was disregarding the higher time frame. If you're looking at the higher time frame here, what are we doing here, right? We are trending higher. Let's look at the line chart just to make it very, very simple, right? What are we doing? We are respecting these gaps, right? We do get this big move lower, right? Once we get this big move lower, we do flip very aggressively higher, right? So then boom, what do we do here? We flip through this huge gap, right? This is a huge indication that we're going to go to our next high, right? Whereas our next high, it's right here, right? So once we do flip through this, we're pretty confirmed that we're gonna come take this high. Disregarding the SMT does not matter. SMT does matter in some cases, but if you look at the SMT here, what were we doing here? We absolutely did nothing once we took this high. We took the high and we continued higher. So I'm not looking at that SMT, right? This is how I should have played it this morning, right? I'm not looking at that SMT. What am I gonna wait for in the morning? This is one of two things I could have done, right? One of two things I could have done here, right? Or I was waiting for in the morning. I did tell myself, and I did not listen to myself, I'm going to be completely honest, that I was going to either wait for one of these lows to get hit and see if we react and we get pushed. We get it. Okay, so I was going to wait for this retrace to happen right at open, and then we're going to go higher, right? Or what else could we have done? We could have just ripped higher here, right at open, took out the high, then started continuing lower to take out these lows. And that's where you could have looked for a short. And what happened here? Well, you're looking at it right now. After we took out this high, we did get that push higher, but what are we doing now? We finally took out this low. It's just the time and objective of that time of day. We were not ready to take this low. Why? Because our objective was still higher. Once we took out that objective higher, then that's when you can start looking for this objective lower, right? Because on the higher time frame, what do we need to do before we come any lower? We need to at least take out this high. If we're gonna come to all-time highs, we're either gonna hit this high, keep going higher, right? We're gonna go boom, boom, this structure, boom, and we're gonna go like that, right? Or if we're not gonna go any higher, we're gonna at least hit this, minimum at least hit it, and then go back lower. But what we need to do first is hit it, right? And what do we need to do to hit it? We need to find a retrace, right? We get our retrace right here. We get our retrace right here. This is our higher time, like 15-minute retrace. Boom, come down to our level. We're at the hourly gap, and then with this, we get our. Some people were saying, what happened with here? We did not get a retrace. We do not need to get a retrace here, right? Once we get this big V-shaped recovery here, down here, you could take it either, depending on your conviction, you could take it here, trade up to here, or even you can scale down, just look at the other time frames, be like, okay, right, run through this gap, boom, this low is going to be protected, right? What else do we need to wait for? We need to wait for some better risk reward, because you can enter here just if you want, but what is that negative RR? This is my low that I want to see protected. Why is this going to be my protected low? Since we tapped here and we ran through higher, right? So I'm going to expect and want this low to hold, right? What can you wait for? You can wait for a down close candle and see if we're going to either tap this gap. Let's say we do not tap the gap. It's okay. You do not need to enter right on the tap of the gap or anything else. All you need to wait for is to see if we're going to reject it. Disrespect. Oh my God, I can't even speak. We're either going to make this a valid retrace or not, right? If this is a valid retrace, all you need is wait for this close or this close. It doesn't matter. Since we also have this big 1 minute gap that we completely disrespected and went through it, right? So entering right here is actually it's fine. And since we do have this gap, that's going to hold us from going any lower, right? If we do end up coming here, I expect this gap to hold since we're in this bullish order flow, right? So I do not want to see us do this and then this, because if we do run through this gap, I'm expecting this next gap, and there's no point of us coming all the way down here to then come higher. In that case, I would not want to be in the trade. I would want to take a different entry. So this is a valid entry right here. Why? Because if you look at the line chart again, we do not need to get a big retrace. Why? Because this is our higher time frame retrace, right? Boom, small retrace, boom, small retrace, boom, small retrace, boom, hit our objective. Very, very simple. And that's why the higher time frame is important, and why you need to look at your higher time frame instead of, don't ever fade that higher time frame. Don't ever look at it and be like, we do not need to hit that higher time frame level yet, but we definitely do, right? Because if you know anything about market maker buy models, I guess you can say market maker buy models, ICT, whatever, blah blah blah. We need to get our objective. Our next objective is what? Higher, right? Why? Because we're in this bullish order flow. We take out this high, and then we take out this high, and then once we take out that high, that's where you're kind of done. We're either gonna keep going higher or we're gonna keep pushing lower, and that's pretty much it. Any questions y'all want me to answer about trading or any type of entries? Yes, I do still make mistakes. Even if I make money, I still make mistakes. You're gonna take an L, you're gonna take maybe 2 L's, whatever it is. Do not lose your confidence, because you can take an L and still be profitable, bro. Like, there's these traders that make a lot of money, they still take lots of L's. Like TJR, he loses 100 racks some days, right? And what are you mad about? $500, right? Why are you gonna blow your account for no reason, right? So just be smart about what you take, and don't let your emotions control any type of thing on the chart, any type of trade. Like, bro, you're pressing a button with your finger. You're telling me, you as a grown man, you can't control a finger, like your own finger. You can't control yourself from pressing the buy button again and again and again and again. You're a grown ass man or woman or whatever. You're just a grown person. You're making a conscious decision to take a fucking trade again when you know that you shouldn't be taking a trade, right? And I know there's people that are watching this that have overtraded. I have been in your shoes, bro. I've overtraded so much before, and what it cost me thousands of dollars, right? But now that I don't overtrade, I'm not saying there is some days I would go on tilt. Some days I do take bad trades. Some days I do not trade my best, but that's just part of the game. You're not always going to be 100%. It's a game of probability, right? Let's say you have 10 trades and you win 7, you're still up, right? Risk to reward, it all goes into play. This is pretty much how you should always be looking at the market, is on this higher time frame. Look at it. I mean, if you really want to just simplify it, it's just looking at that line chart, right? This line chart. What are we doing? We're trending higher, taking out highs, and then boom, we're taking out lows. Boom. Now I'm expecting this next low to get hit. Maybe not today, maybe later. Actually, well, we're pretty much dumping right now. Honestly, don't know if Trump or someone is talking. But yeah, that's pretty much how I see the market. If y'all got any questions, let me know in the comments below, or what type of videos I should make. I'm going to make a playlist about how I go about my trading, about market structure, fair value gaps, liquidity, and how I'll go into my daily bias. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all have a great day.